Hi everybody. I'm just doing a collab with a bunch of other YouTubers on the Facebook group, the Small YouTube Homestead Facebook group. And this was sent out by Hallelujah Homestead. And the collab is on what's your favorite edible or medicinal plant and why. So I'm just starting getting into edible plants and enjoying what I can get for free from nature, as I'm all about being frugal and, free is awesome. Last year, I picked up a bunch of dandelion heads and I took the greens off of them and just boiled the heads and made a dandelion jelly right here. This one's a little bit on the runny side. Like it's solid, but it's like a little bit on the runny side because I was doing the recipe and not completely following the pectin um, thing ratio for it because I used regular pectin and it called for to use the pectin for sugar-free jams and jellies, and I didn't have that. So I'm sure if I used it, it would have been a little bit thicker. Plus, I was also doing a double batch, which apparently you're not supposed to do. But if anybody's been watching my channel, they know I don't really follow instructions or directions very well. I use them as kind of an estimate or a suggestion. So that's always the fun part. But I made a bunch of these. I gave some out last June to my kids' teachers that for a teacher gift, and they loved it. It tastes like honey. It's like a kind of a honey marmalade kind of taste. It's great on toast. Like you just take the toast out, you put a little bit of this, and yum. Um, Dandelions, you can eat the whole plant. So the flowers make a wonderful, like, look at this color. This was from last May 24th, 2016. Look how yellow that is. Anything that's yellow, there's no coloring or anything like that. Anything that's yellow means that there's lots of vitamins in it. And I was just looking up on what things dandelions have, since this is something that everybody has in their yards and stuff. And here in Canada, in Ottawa, Ontario, um, our city has banned pesticides on um, city property. So there's now a whole resource of pesticide free dandelions since they grow abundantly. I can't wait till spring comes to see the sea of yellow. Now, my yard doesn't have a lot of dandelions because my front yard is a lawnless lawn with a whole bunch of wildflowers and local flowers that are more invasive than dandelions. I could get maybe two or three in my whole yard. So I go across the street to the school property and the city property at the park, and I've gotten dandelion heads from there. Excuse me. But looking at the information about dandelions, dandelions are high in calcium, which promotes bone growth and deters bone loss. Has like 10% of your daily value. I'm like, wow. It's also high in like vitamin K, which is really hard to find in vegetables and stuff. Like you can find in broccoli and I think kale. It's one of those ones that is easy to be deficient in. It's high in fiber, not necessarily in the jelly form, but if you eat the dandelion greens, which we do use, I like to gather them and put them with other lettuces and chop them really fine so my family doesn't notice the difference because they do have a little bit of a bitter taste, or a more chlorophyll taste, kind of like the difference between romaine lettuce and iceberg lettuce. Iceberg has like no taste, and romaine has more of a green taste. And my family doesn't mind iceberg or romaine, but doesn't like some of those the muslin mix ones that are more bitter. So if I do use that, I try and use more romaine lettuce and a little bit of the other ones. Um, so what is great about the dandelion jelly is that it's something my kids will eat. They're not necessarily fond of it. They thought it was kind of weird for me to do something from dandelions, but they have eaten it. I personally like it, and um, it does take a lot of dandelion heads. Like it's something like 10 or 12 cups of these dandelion flowers, which takes one person at least like an hour or more to pick, and then you have to sift through them to take off and cut off all the little green bits that attaches it to the stem, because you don't want the green bits in it because it makes the color different and gives it a bit more bitter flavor or something from what I've read. But that takes itself another half an hour, 40 minutes. This is before even making the jelly part. Now, making the jelly part, it was just like making strawberry jam, which I've made like a zillion times. But following the recipe is very important. I'll put a link below for the recipe that I used, and um, you could do it yourself. It is something that if money's tight and it's dandelion season in your area, in the wintertime it's not going to be helpful. Like right now, we just got 21 centimeters of snow, and it's March 25th. Like, come on, we're ready for spring. Um, I can't go out and pick dandelions, but in a month from now, dandelions are going to be overrun in my area. So I'm going to definitely make some more of this, as well as I'm going to try and make some candied dandelions heads, which I saw in another video um, from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. That looked really yummy. My family would probably eat that. My family is very adventurous to try something at least once, and that's how I've gotten them to eat many different things. But dandelions is a very healthy plant. Um, in North America, it's considered a weed. In other countries, it's actually harvested as like a vegetable. So you can use the root, which is really hard to get the whole root. The leaves great in salads. Dry them up, put them in smoothies, whatever. Same with the flowers. You can gather the flowers and just dry them, as you gather them, and then use them later on to make dandelion tea or jelly or dandelion syrup, which is like, this is kind of between a jelly and a syrup because it didn't quite set as much as I wanted it to. But the syrup um, is like that, and you can use it to add into your tea or whatever like that. It's also, dandelions are very good at detoxifying your liver and your blood and stuff like that. So if like you have like any type of infection, it has high in antioxidants. Also, I've read that it's really good if you have like a urinary tract infection. It kind of clears things out and helps promote more urine capacity so that you're flushing all those things out anyways, like it's like a diuretic or something like that. Um, it's high in vitamin A, and that's about it. Uh, all I can say is I hope that from watching these other videos that I'm going to put the links to them in the description as I find them in the collab, and I'll make a playlist, and I'll add it to a playlist of the collab on my channel, so that you can go and look at them, because I'm hoping to learn more about other medicinal herbs and plants and stuff, because it's something that I'm quite interested in learning more about. So um, that's about it. Thank you for sitting down and listening to me, and I hope that you will venture out and try something new. So once dandelions are growing in your area, if you have small children, because they're always picking them, ask them to pick you them, and then you just take off the greens afterwards. And unfortunately, my children are a little bit older and they're not so keen on picking dandelions anymore. So I have to kind of bribe them with something else. But last year I also did lilac jelly, which was really good, but I didn't make enough of it. Like it takes again so many flowers. So that's another thing I will take a video of this year once the lilacs are out and pick them from my backyard, and we can do that together. But have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. It's at least sunny here. It's not very cold, but there's now 20 more centimeters of snow, which has to melt because I really want to go out there and garden. Have a great day, and bye from Jen in Canada. We got 21 centimeters of snow yesterday. We were only supposed to get 2. That was a roofed shelter thing, but the roof broke a couple years ago. I'm planning on putting some beams over the edges and grow some grapevines. That's my plan. But look at the snow. And that's my backyard. And there's my barbecue over there.